Welcome to Audio Recaps, where we bring cinematic adventures to life. Today, we're continuing the thrilling Indiana Jones series with Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, the prequel to Raiders of the Lost Ark. This adventure takes Indy into a much darker and more dangerous world, filled with sinister cults, mystical artifacts, and high-stakes action. Let's dive into this unforgettable journey. The year is 1935, 1 year before the events of Raiders of the Lost Ark. The story begins in Shanghai, where we find Indiana Jones, dressed in a sharp white tuxedo, negotiating with the crime lord Lao Che. Indy has retrieved the remains of Emperor Nurhaci and is trading them for a massive diamond. But Lao Che, being the slippery gangster he is, double-crosses Indy by poisoning him and demanding the diamond back in exchange for the antidote. Chaos erupts in the club, aptly named Club Obi-Wan. Indy scrambles to recover the antidote while dodging gunfire, broken glass, and pandemonium. In the fray, he's joined by Willie Scott, a glamorous nightclub singer with a knack for finding herself in trouble. Their escape is nothing short of exhilarating, with Indy and Willie diving out of a window and landing in a waiting car driven by Indy's 12-year-old sidekick, Short Round. Their getaway takes them to an airstrip, where they board a plane to flee Lao Che's wrath. Unbeknownst to them, the plane is owned by Lao Che, and the pilots abandon them mid-flight. With no one at the controls, Indy, Willie, and Short Round are forced to jump out of the plane using an inflatable raft. What follows is a jaw-dropping sequence as they crash-land on snowy slopes, slide down cliffs, and plunge into a raging river, eventually arriving in a remote Indian village. In the village, the trio is greeted by desperate locals who explain their plight. Their children have been kidnapped, their crops have failed, and their sacred Shankara stone, a mystical relic that protects their land, has been stolen. The villagers believe the stone's loss has cursed them, and they plead for Indy's help. Intrigued by the legend of the Shankara stones and moved by the villagers' plight, Indy agrees to investigate. Their journey leads them to the foreboding Pankot Palace, a lavish yet eerie fortress ruled by the young Maharaja. The palace's opulent facade hides a dark secret. Indy, Willie, and Short Round are greeted warmly by the palace's officials, but there's an unsettling undercurrent. During a lavish banquet featuring grotesque delicacies like snake surprise and chilled monkey brains, Indy questions the palace's connection to the missing stone. The officials deny any involvement, but Indy isn't convinced. That night, while searching for clues, Indy discovers a hidden passage in Willie's room. Together with Short Round, he ventures into the dark, treacherous tunnels beneath the palace. What they find is both shocking and horrifying. The palace is home to the Thuggee cult, a secretive and fanatical group that worships the goddess Kali. The Thuggee, led by the sinister Mola Ram, are intent on using the mystical power of the Shankara stones to dominate the world. The trio witnesses a terrifying ritual in which Mola Ram sacrifices a man by lowering him into a pit of molten lava. The ceremony showcases the power of the 3 Shankara stones the cult already possesses, which glow with a supernatural light when brought together. Indy realizes the immense danger posed by the cult and resolves to retrieve the stones and rescue the enslaved children working in the mines. Their mission quickly goes awry. Indy, Willie, and Short Round are captured by the Thuggee. In one of the film's most intense and harrowing sequences, Indy is forced to drink the blood of Kali, a potion that places him under Mola Ram's mind control. Under its influence, Indy becomes a loyal servant of the cult, ready to do Mola Ram's bidding. Willie is prepared for sacrifice, and Short Round is sent to the mines to toil alongside the enslaved children. But Short Round, resourceful as ever, manages to escape. Using fire, he snaps Indy out of the spell, and together they mount a daring rescue. In a pulse-pounding sequence, Indy saves Willie from the sacrificial cage just as it's about to descend into the lava. The trio then leads a revolt among the enslaved children, triggering chaos in the thuggy stronghold. The escape culminates in a heart-stopping minecart chase, one of the most iconic action sequences in film history. Indy, Willie and Short Round hurtle through the underground tunnels in runaway carts, pursued by thuggy warriors. The sequence is a masterclass in tension and thrills, with collapsing tracks, sharp turns, and high-speed danger at every corner. Their escape leads them to a rickety rope bridge suspended high above a crocodile-infested river. In a desperate standoff, Indy cuts the bridge's ropes, causing it to collapse and sending everyone clinging to the sides of the cliffs. The film's climactic battle takes place here, with Indy facing off against Mola Ram. The fight is brutal and intense as Mola Ram attempts to seize the Shankara stones. But Indy, invoking the stone's mystical power, burns Mola Ram's hands, causing him to lose his grip and plummet into the crocodile-infested waters below. With the stones secured, Indy, Willie and Short Round return to the village, where they're greeted as heroes. The children are reunited with their families, and the land begins to flourish once more. The villagers express their profound gratitude, and Indy, for all his initial skepticism, acknowledges the power of the Shankara stones. As the adventure comes to a close, Willie, who has evolved from a self-centered entertainer to a braver and more compassionate figure, shares a tender moment with Indy. Short Round, ever loyal and full of heart, remains by Indy's side, ready for whatever adventure comes next. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom is a darker, grittier chapter in the franchise that showcases Indy's resilience and heroism. With its unforgettable action sequences, sinister villains, and compelling story, it's a testament to the enduring appeal of the Indiana Jones saga. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Audio Recaps. Stay tuned for our next adventure with Indy in The Last Crusade.